Hey guys, so we have a couple of new interviews today with Supernatural cast talking about next season, season 15, a final season, all of that, and talking about their own predictions for the final season. Obviously, they cannot spoil anything. They probably haven't even wrote anything. They're just talking really in general terms in those interviews. So let's watch them together and talk about it.
Gotta go big. Gotta go big.
I want season 15 to be a great season. Obviously, it's our last season, but I want it to feel like it's going to go on. I don't want it to feel like it's the ending. I don't want Sam to feel like it's the ending. I want Sam to feel like he's still making a difference, that he's still doing what's right for other people, helping other people. And so I don't want it to feel like doom and gloom too much. You know, obviously Supernatural has a lot of dark elements.
Of course. Jared said that before in a recent interview I made a video about, an actual written interview, not a video interview, where he talked about doesn't want to feel like mourning, like it's some funeral or something. So the boys don't know that this is the final season, so they cannot act like they do now. So that's what he means by that. And as I said in my other video about this, it's gonna feel like a memorial service every episode left anyway, because we as audience know that it is heading towards the end, unfortunately.
But I want Sam to still fight, to keep fighting and keep supporting his brother and his friends and his family.
We've done over 300 episodes of this, and Dean's got a lot of places. And I've got to do a lot of really, really fun stuff, challenging stuff, cool stuff with the characters. There's not a lot that I haven't done. But I know that there are still a few things a few boxes I'd like to tick. So we'll see.
Well, we still haven't done a true musical episode.
Oh, please no musicals. You've done a 200th episode and it was funny, okay, but no more, please.
And I feel like that's a glaring omission that should be rectified before the series ends.
The problem is I don't think the boys can sing. I don't think Sam and Dean Winchester can sing as well as Jared and Jensen can, so it'd be like, blah, 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 blah. God knows I don't want to see Cass sing.
Dean can sing too, not just Jensen. Gene sang a few times, like, Eye of the Tiger, it's kind of Dean/Jensen. What was it? Obviously it was an outtake, but I think it was actually as Dean, wasn't as Jensen singing. So Dean can really sing very well. All Out of Love song and many other songs he sang on the show. He's really good.
Like a little monotone, carry on my wayward son. Yeah, I'd pay not to see that, but it'd be fun.
I agree.
Are you prepared to sing?
Yes, I will sing, even though I'm not a good singer. I will make that sacrifice.
I don't know if we pick up right where we left off, or if it's like 6 months in the future, or whatever. But it certainly lays a landscape now for anything to happen. The fact that he's kind of opened up the gates to heaven and hell and said, "You guys figure it out." Really puts us in a position to go anywhere and to have anybody come back. I've got a list of people I'd like to have come back, I'm hoping that we take full advantage of that, and I have a feeling that we might.
Jensen and I sat in his trailer for the last 2 weeks of season 14, and we're writing down people we'd love to see come back. I love Jim Beaver, I love Jeffrey D. Morgan, like Richard Speight, obviously Rob Benedict's already back, and Matt Cohen, and let's see Jake Abel come back, and I don't want my wife to come back because then I don't know who would watch the kids. Because I certainly am not capable of doing it.
It's a practical concern there.
Responsible parenting, that's not my forte. Yeah, the list is long.
How about some justice for Adam, who's been just locked away?
I know, right? Yeah, Jake. I'd love to see Jake come back. He's a great dude and great actor, and I'd love to figure out what happened to Adam. Hope he's been all right. Sorry, Adam.
So maybe we finally deal with the fact that our half brother is locked in a cage.
I guess I'd like to see
finally
Castiel make a big sacrifice to save, a heroic sacrifice to somehow save the boys at the end of the show. Somehow I've always imagined that would be the most impactful farewell for him. I hate to say this, but I kind of hope that the main characters on the show die at the end. I feel like we need that finality.
If they die, I don't know. I don't think it's written yet. But if they do die, I want them to die going out doing something that they love that'll make the world a better place.
Misha already said that he would love to see both Sam and Dean die.
Of course he would. He wants the show for himself. He's going to twist his mustache. Part of me thinks that's the only way to end Supernatural, because if the boys are alive, they'd be hunting. And if they're hunting, I want to see them hunting. So maybe that's the way it goes. I don't know. I don't want the Phantom to kill me. Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, but there's no like true final death finality on Supernatural. No matter what they say, even when Billy told Sam back in season 11 that she's gonna make a mistake and throws him in the empty or any other Reaper, and no one comes back from that, we all know that's BS because already Cass came back when Jack woke him up. Even Lucifer almost got out when Nick prayed to him based on some human connection. He's not even a supernatural being. So, yeah, even the empty thing didn't work, so how will they kill them off for good that we know for sure is not gonna come back? Because even J2 talked about this in conventions many times, that death doesn't really mean anything on Supernatural, so that doesn't necessarily mean a finality to the story. So, even if they kill them, there's always a chance they can come back, so there's always hope.
But I don't know. I don't know where it will go. Every time I think I have an idea of where the show is going or where I want it to go, it veers in another direction. So maybe they'll all just settle in happily to a retirement home and solve all the world's problems at the end.
We need to see them happy.
Yeah.
But who knows if that's going to happen.
Probably not.
I mean, it's always a fun journey with these guys. You know, been doing it for so long. It's the majority of my adult life, and it's been a ride. And I expect nothing less than the final season to be just that. It's going to be quite a ride.
Yeah, it's been a journey, and a journey is coming to an end, unfortunately. Next season. So, yeah, that was a cool interview. The guys predicting what they think would happen in season 15. They want a lot of characters to come back, including Bobby, obviously John, and other people. Adam, they talked about Adam. That's been an ongoing thing in the series, the boys ignoring Adam. I personally don't care about it because they never really liked Adam, to be honest. Never really considered him to be part of their family. He's just a distant half-brother that just popped out of nowhere and suddenly he's supposed to be family. Never really connected to him. And as Dean said, echoing Bobby's words, family don't end in blood, but it doesn't start there either, which I think applies to Adam in this case. So yeah, I think they will bring him back because they kind of like, to address all the loose ends in that supposed final season. They might as well address the Adam thing because this has been one of the longest loose ends on the show. And the whole, death of the boys thing, they always talked about this in all the interviews, even in conventions over the years. They both think either one or both brothers should die. I think both should/will die, but doesn't necessarily mean this is permanent. Like I said in another video I made, the guys are kind of leaving the door open a little bit. Even Jensen, the one who seems to have decided to end the show, he seems to be on board with Jared, who's leaving the door cracked open, as he puts in the interview, a little bit at the end. So yeah, another great interview by TV Guide here. So let's watch the next one. Alright, so let's watch the next interview by Entertainment Tonight. Interview of J2, obviously about the final season of the show, because that's what all the interviews are nowadays. About the end of the show, end of an era, end of a journey, all those cliches, and talking about the final season. So let's watch this interview together and talk about it.
Crying, death, explosions.
It's gonna be tough.
Of course, it is already.
It'll be emotional, and I know this is two words, but action-packed. Strategery.
Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles dishing on the final season of Supernatural.
What's the mindset going into the final season?
Try and do the show justice. Try and do these characters some justice and honor the legacy that was Supernatural. The writers and the directors and the actors and actresses and producers and our network and our studio, and just try and do well by the fandom.
Jared said it best. I don't think we'll ever say goodbye to these characters. I mean, I really, living with them for 15 years is only the start. This is, who was it? I think it was Stallone that said that to the greatest imaginary friend I've ever had, talking about Rocky Balboa. And I kind of feel the same way. These guys will live with us forever.
Yeah, it's gonna live with us forever too, and I wish it actually stayed with us forever on TV, but nothing lasts forever, even Supernatural, despite what we thought.
Don't you dare think that there is anything, past or present, that I would put in front of you.
The guys also went down memory lane, talking about their early days on the show.
It was almost 15 years ago.
It's my first childhood memory, actually. It's being on set.
feels like
Basically, essentially.
forever ago.
I remember just the feeling of infinite possibilities. You know, I thought we might go for a full season. You know,
Yeah.
hell, maybe we'll.
Oh, maybe we'll go for season 2.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it was, you know, at that point, he and I were just really excited to be a part of a show and to be kind of captaining that show, and you know, we didn't want to mess it up, and it was also right during the whole merge of the network, so there was a lot of changeover, there was a lot of disruption going on, and we weren't sure what the fate of our show was. And so I think the fact that we somehow managed to weather that storm and get through the other side was a big testament to kind of what we had, and then it was just trying not to mess it up for the next 14 years.
Looking back at the old seasons, they are my favorite seasons. I'm actually excited about rewatching the whole series soon. Probably gonna film like some kind of reaction to them or something, talk about them. So I've rewatched like the old season 1 to 7 specifically, over 7 times pretty much so far, and but I haven't rewatched in a while because I've been really busy. So I'm excited to do another rewatch soon, and yeah, we'll talk about everything with you guys, of course, when I do. There are season 1 to 5 are definitely my favorite seasons, and I'm excited about rewatch and obviously next season. Not excited about series ending, but you know, they seem to be getting back to the roots finally in the final season, about time, with the boys hunting and stuff. So very excited about that element, at least, if not the ending of the show.
Fans are pretty loyal, so are they going to be happy with this ending? What do we think?
Well, we don't know the
We
ending
don't know what
just
it is
yet.
yet. Yeah, no, we you know.
I mean, I think to a certain degree, the fandom won't be happy with any ending.
Right.
No.
Nor will we to a certain degree. I don't think any of us want to see this show go. You know, but back to your earlier question, it's about doing it proper justice.
I'm not gonna be happy about the ending at all. It's not about the ending I choose. I'm not happy about the ending, period.
And here's what they plan on stealing from set.
I've said it before.
Baby.
For me, it's all about the car.
Of course.
Yeah, it's been such a heavy part of the character and a heavy part of the show.
If somebody stole the Impala, what would you do? Murder. I'd murder them
Now
all.
it's
There's
improvised.
little knickknacks,
Yeah.
little mementos that probably won't mean anything to anybody else, but mean something to me.
Yeah. I remember when we burned down Bobby's house, there was an owl paperweight on the fireplace. And I remember before we were going to use the set for the last time, I was like, well, this is mine now. So I still have it.
Yeah, our set deck department just realized where that went, and they're like, "Damn it, Jared!"
The legal team at Warner Brothers is now like, cease and desist. I remember, like, yeah, little knickknacks, like the season finale of the season finale of season 1. Sam's driving the Impala, and I figured, again, we didn't know if we were getting picked up. The car was getting destroyed, so there's this scene where I'm sitting there and I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this. I took a little Impala decal out of that first car, so I still have that. But little stuff that no one would ever know, it means something to me.
So again, that was a great interview by Entertainment Tonight. G2 talking about, you know, the ending next season, and especially looking back on nostalgia 15 years ago when we started making the show. Again, like I said before, my favorite time of the show, season 1 to 5, Kripke era. I do wish that they bring Kripke back for the final season. I hope he runs the whole final season, takes over as showrunner, because they talked in interviews before a while ago, like maybe even a year ago or more than that. J2 had interviews where he said they would hope Kripke comes back and wraps up the show in the final season. But if he's too busy, there's some kind of like behind the scene things that not gonna make it work for him to come back. I hope he does, but if he cannot come back as serious runner for the final season, which is gonna be very disappointing, I hope he comes back at least as a writer for some episodes, at least one episode. At least one of the active executive producers on the show, because I know he's been kind of like an executive consultant throughout the newer seasons, but you haven't really felt his influence at all in the last few seasons, because they haven't been as good as when he used to run a series. So that's how you know Kripke's effect hasn't really been there at all, honestly, in the last few seasons. So I hope if he cannot run the series, if he cannot at least direct or write some episodes, at least to have like a strong creative influence behind the scenes in the form of like executive producer or something like that behind the scenes. But what I really hope for is he comes back full swing, just runs the final season, because he's the best one to do that. And his season 1 to 5, the seasons he ran are my favorite seasons, are and ours is the best season in Supernatural, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinion, including critics. So yeah, that's my hope for the final season, and were great interviews. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. What are your predictions for the final season of Supernatural? Let me know down below in the comments. Subscribe for more awesome Supernatural content. Till the next time, as always, no chick flick moments.